What's up, everybody? You are listening to Something's Watching from the Dark. I'm Dustin,
I'm Luke.
and this is the show where we listen to real encounters, unexplained experiences, and the kind of stories people usually keep to themselves. How you doing tonight, buddy?
I'm doing good. Just hanging
That's
out.
good. What do you think about them posts that we made on TikTok recently? I'm really excited because we had some people engage with us.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'm glad we had some people reach out, and that's awesome.
Yeah. So, tonight's episode, we are listening to stories from all across Pennsylvania. These are stories that I think will definitely give you the chills. They gave me some chills and some things that I didn't even know about Pennsylvania while doing some research.
Yeah,
And
this is gonna be fun.
yeah, you want to talk about the hotline there? I'm gonna sip my
Yeah, if
coffee.
you have an experience that you'd like to share, please call or text our hotline at 412-533-3483. You can leave a voicemail or send a text message. It will cut you off after 3 minutes, so you would have to call back and finish your story, and we'll edit together. Make sure you tell your friends to send in their stories too.
Yeah. So I want to kind of touch on some of these comments that people left on our TikToks because some of these are kind of interesting. Now I made two different posts. The first one's about the feeling that you get in the PA woods and some of these back roads. Not so much that you see, a cryptid or a ghost or something like that, but it was more along the lines of the way that it makes you feel. Now, you and I felt this. We felt this when we was out there at that cemetery on the game lands. And that's that feeling of I don't belong here or something's watching me. Now, this person here, they said that they grew up in central PA and they used to hunt an old railroad that was inactive since their mom was a kid. They said that they shot a deer and it ran down into the valley. They tracked it about an hour and it took them into the part of the valley they never went to. They did the deed and started to drag it home. A lot to what you said, no birds, no chirping. I walked out into the darkest, almost daylight. Wait, sometimes the words don't come out right. I'm also kind of distracted by that background music. It might be a little bit too loud. I'll be honest with you. Just turn that down a little bit. He says no big footprints, nothing jumped out. Just had that feeling of something or someone watching, and they said that's the reason that they kept their pistol out the entire drag until they found their grandfather. What do you think about that? You're a hunter. Have you ever been out in the woods and felt that feeling?
Um, a little bit, yeah. Mostly when we went back to that cemetery.
Mostly when you went back to that cemetery. Yeah. I know that there has been other times whenever I've been in the woods by myself hunting and I've gotten that feeling. So I don't know. Maybe it's just that paranoia that sets in. This person here, they said that you should never whistle back when you hear a whistle in the distance. Her and her daughter were getting spring water and heard a whistle in the distance. So messing with her daughter, she whistled back and she was like, WTF, why would you do that? About 10 seconds later, they heard the whistle super close. So they boogied out of there fast. We've heard a whistle in the woods.
We have, and it seemed like to mock your whisper or whistle.
It kind of did. It mimicked what I'm saying. We have a lot of these comments. Should we keep going with these, or should we just get into the stories? Because I kind of feel like maybe we should just get into the stories.
I say let's finish reading some.
Okay, you want to read one? Okay, so this is a comment from someone here in Pittsburgh, talking about Dead Man's Hollow. Said that this happened to me. Also, they had that being watched Dead Man's Hollow.
Oh, your audio sounding a little off.
I know it's my internet. Sorry. They had All right, I'm back. I don't know. My internet being weird, but that same feeling, Dead Man's Hollow. We talked about wanting to go there. I don't know, dude. I feel like Dead Man's Hollow is kind of a dangerous place to be, just because people hang out there. Like, not I feel like people are lurking there, waiting for you to come by.
It's not like I want to say like a state park, but it's like a forest reserve type of thing.
A forest reserve.
Yeah, something along
Okay.
those lines. I've been there
I
a
don't know.
few
Maybe
times,
you been
and
to Dead Man's Hollow?
yeah, I've been there like 2 or 3 times.
I thought that you'd never been there. Okay, so wait, tell me a little bit.
So there's a lot of stories about Dead Man's Hollow. The one that freaks me out the most, I know it's not like real, but like just imagine it, it's real. There's a folklore with Dead Man's Hollow. I believe there's like a 40-foot snake that still lives around Dead Man's Hollow.
A 40-foot snake?
Yes.
Okay, I can see that maybe because people have reptiles and they let them go, but we get really cold winters, so I can't imagine that it would survive. I mean, unless it found somewhere to stay warm, but I don't know where would a 40-foot snake go up there to stay warm.
Yeah, it's like just walking through the woods. Um, I was trying to figure out how big it is exactly. But just walking through the woods and just picture like, what if you came across like a 40-foot snake? It gives you creepy vibes.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess it does, but it doesn't, because I don't know. We've had snakes, and I know
Yeah,
how they react in a way. It's not like it's gonna chase me. It's gonna strike if I get close. I mean, I don't know. I've seen some snakes chase, but not. I don't imagine that being the case. I don't know. Hopefully, if we do go there, we don't run into a 40-foot snake. You're gonna go first. I'll walk behind you. How's that? Does that work?
sure.
um. So this lady here, she says that she lives in Pennsylvania near Monroeville and Pitcairn, PA. I hope I pronounced that right. Not too far from a cemetery where it is really haunted. There's a female spirit there. Her name is Walking Rosie, and she doesn't like men. I think we should go there.
That'd be interesting to see the reaction, um how she would react to like men going there.
Yeah. I had asked her what are some things that she has witnessed there. She said that her friend saw a lady in white and Civil War soldiers. I haven't been there, but she showed me pictures. There's also a story of a little girl whose body was found and her unaliving was never solved. She she was she was found not too far from the duck pond in Monroeville. That's interesting. We'd have to look further into that if that's
Mhm.
even true, because I know, and we'll get to it here in a minute, but there are some other urban legends with like supposed facts, but there's nothing to back it up.
Yeah, and be, before we get too off topic, when we were at Dead Man's Hollow, I think I told you the story. We have like an obelisk, which is powered by like word banks, and they can pick out a word. We were down by the river, and someone asked, "Where are we at?" And across the obelisk is like McKeesport,
I
which
remember you telling me that.
that coming from that is crazy because I never heard that come across that before. So it's
Right.
like,
Because the obvious is just a word bank. It's not like it's reading radio waves or anything like that.
mhm.
Yeah.
And you hear, with Dead Man's Hollow, we used to hear like weird screaming sounds like coming from the woods. It's a very eerie place. It's Course Hollow. I would love to get back there.
What do you mean strange screaming sounds?
I don't know. It's like a weird screaming sound. It doesn't sound like
Like
a human, but it doesn't sound like an. It sounds like a human and animal like mix. It's a weird sound. You'll have to
did you
listen when we
did
get
you go
on
at
there.
night?
Hmm.
You went at night.
Yeah,
All
I've done
right.
that a couple times.
All right. Well, guys, if you want to see us go to Dead Man's Hollow, like this video, give us a like. If you're on Spotify, go over to the YouTube channel, hit the like button on this video, and Luke and I will go check out Dead Man's Hollow.
It's getting
But
warm.
are you ready to get into these stories?
Yeah, let's get into it.
So, this first story we are about to hear comes from Luke's dad and his trip to Gettysburg. Do you have any relative experiences from Gettysburg?
I've had some, but not as good as his.
Well, let's take a listen. Oh, as soon as I pull it up, man, the anticipation is killing. All right.
There's a lot of things going on, but I never really seen anything per se down there.
Didn't you
I mean,
see
I-
something walk across the railroad tracks?
Oh yeah, I did. I forgot all about that. Yeah, we were at the train station down there, and I guess there was a battle right there. And we're actually right before Gettysburg College, or beside it. And you could actually see the pond, which they claim a bunch of people have drowned in that pond. But I was standing there, and I had my video camera going. And I'm like, man, I ain't catching shit. So I shut the camera down and set it to the side. And I seen an apparition of somebody walking like across the tracks. I mean, I didn't grab my camera or anything, but I ran right at it and I never found anything. But yeah, I do remember that now that you mention it.
No, I remember this. Tell us about that story about that EVP that you caught when you were at the cemetery.
Yeah, I was in the cemetery, and I had a digital recorder going, and I caught this young woman. I guess she was in her 20s when she passed away. That was kind of reading her headstone, her name, when she died. And I mean, plain as day, you could hear her voice like it was in pain. And I said, "No, you died at the age of," and she's like, and he went, I mean, it was plain as day. And I mean, I say that for a lot of people. It's kind of freaky because it almost sounds like she's learned that when she says, when she answered me.
Do you have it that we can do sometime? Like you used to do?
I could, yeah, I'll send it a look.
Okay.
I remember that. That gives me the chills thinking about it.
Yeah, you'll have to let him listen to that one.
And,
That,
you know, I mean,
Eric
I've gone to a
does.
lot of EVPs over the years, and you know, been called names and got FU and all kinds of stuff. But you know, I remember we used to do a lot of private homes, and I guess I know you're not supposed to interrogate things, and you know that's what they tell you anyway. But if I'm not getting any action, or if it's like really boring and nothing happened, then I might call something out. And I remember we were in a house where there's a single mom with a kid.
That Gettysburg story, I remember him always used to telling that story. And that is crazy.
I told you this or not. That night that we went and spent the like up at Gettysburg and we camped out. Did I tell you that night my mom was up ghost hunting there in the campground that we thought we heard gunshots?
Yeah, I believe it.
It was strange because we heard it was like pow 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 pow, but it sounded like muskets. I
Hmm.
don't have you ever shot a muzzleloader?
Yeah.
It sounded like that. You know how it has that. I don't know. I can't even explain. It has a distinct sound, but we both looked at each other, and I was like, "Fireworks?" And she's like, "I don't know." Like it kind of sounded like guns, and she's like, "That's what I was thinking." And I'm like, "That's wild." You even think that could even be the possibility.
Yeah, right.
Um,
People say they hear cannons going off in Gettysburg all the time too after dark.
that's crazy. That's wild. No, he mentioned the EVP, and it reminded me. I seen this documentary. We'll have to check it out. It's about EVPs, like the science behind it. I guess
Hmm.
I don't know, but this next story comes from at @SareBear on TikTok, and it takes place in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, on Blue Mist Road. What makes this one unsettling for me is it could have actually been like a cult or something.
I've heard of Blue Mist Road plenty of times. I've just never personally been able to get out there myself.
Yeah, I don't think that I've ever actually been there either, but let's listen to her story.
I was going to a different school next year. She and a couple of our friends and her friends who were still at the school went to Blue Mist Road, and they went at night. Everything seemed kind of normal at first. They parked their car outside of that like barrier that they have to walk up the road, and they started walking up the road. There was like a fairly large group of them, like maybe 5 or so people, I think. And as I said in my previous video, Blue Mist Road is an area where the Triple K used to operate. So they're walking down this road, and then they see a man at the end of the road in a cloak. And they all are just like, this can't be happening. So that happens. And instead of being the classic horror stereotype and being like, let's go check it out, they leave. They're running. They turn around and they start running. They can hear this person in this cloak running after them. And it sounds like there's more people in the woods running alongside them. They're running as fast as they can. People are getting separated. People are falling behind. One of the guy that drove the car, his keys got ripped out of his hand. So he had to turn around, go back down the road toward the person that was running at them to find his keys. He didn't have a flashlight. It was pitch dark. His phone wasn't on. He did end up finding his keys. Everybody else was back at the car. He ended up finding his keys. They waited for him, and they were terrified because they thought something happened to him. They get in the car, they leave. And that was the last time they were ever there. So I don't know if these people in the woods were Triple K. I don't know if it was somebody playing a prank. I don't know if it was something nefarious. I don't know if it was, a ghost. I don't know. But to be walking down a road and see a figure in a cloak at the end of that road, and then run, and you can hear them running behind you, and you can hear people in the woods beside you running alongside you, I am so glad I was not there.
Me too. I'm glad that I wasn't there either. That's like a big fear of mine, dude, is running into somebody in the woods at nighttime, like especially whenever we're out ghost hunting or something, like in the cemetery.
Hmm.
2 things. 1, it's potentially dangerous, and 2, I could potentially have to explain to you why I'm out there without sounding like I'm crazy.
That's a big reason why I carry most of the time while we go out and to work and stuff like that.
Yeah. Blue Mist Road is an interesting place. I've heard a lot of stories about it, and I started digging
Mhm.
around on it a little bit, and I found this said since the early 1800s, death has always been associated with Blue Mist Road. Records are scarce about it. Or about when it exactly came into being and why, but there's an old cemetery just off the road that locals say has graves in it dating back to the 1700s. Some of the graves are the result of fever and consumption. Murders are said to have happened on this road as well. Homes eventually dotted the road, and you can still find the old foundations of some long abandoned houses. There's the story of a father who murdered his entire family, and stories of lynchings by the Ku Klux Klan. I don't know if I could say that or KKK, so I just rolled with it. There are stories of a witch, red glowing eyes watching in the night, as well as glowing orbs. In fact, there is practically a catalog of cryptic tales associated with this road.
That's interesting. I mean,
Yeah.
the Lego witch is freaky enough.
Yeah, I was watching this other video. I was gonna share it too, but they found the witch's house supposedly, but they
Mhm.
didn't experience any of this other stuff. But they did find what they claimed to be the witch's house. That'd be kind of interesting to go out and check out. I think we
Yeah,
should try to make it out there.
I agree. I agree with
Yeah.
that.
So, do you want to bring in this next one?
Yeah. Now we all know about the squonk is the Pennsylvania cryptic, but have you ever heard of the water-filled sheepman? I never have.
You've never heard of the Waterford Sheepman?
No.
Oh boy, I'm excited to share this one with you though. All right. Oh,
bloodthirsty creature terrorized the residents of this small town. Meet the Waterford Sheepman. Hundreds of people claim to have witnessed this creature, lurking in farm fields or darting across roads at night. It was described as a tall bipedal creature with woolly fur, ram's horns, and sheep-like face. Locals were warned to watch out on the outskirts of town near Route 19, or else the Sheepman might get you. Many torn-apart remains of animals and livestock were often found out there, with this creature to blame. Others also reported Sheepman attacking people too. Waterford resident Herb Kinney relayed his friend's encounter after they befell the terror of this creature. While driving near the Waterford-covered bridge on Niemeyer Road, Kinney's friends found out the hard way that the Sheepman likes to hide there, waiting for unsuspecting victims. They had parked on the bridge during a rainstorm one night, and suddenly, something dropped on the roof of the car from the bridge rafters. It was the Sheepman. The two teenage boys in the car jumped out and fought off the creature, jumped back in, and drove away as fast as they could. But what do you think of the Waterford Sheepman? Make sure to leave a comment and follow along to learn about your state's cryptids.
the Waterford Sheepman.
I have a problem with this story.
What do you mean? What's your problem?
For one thing, I'm not getting out of my car and trying to fight this stuff. I'm gonna keep driving away.
Okay.
That's my problem with the story. That they got out and try to fight the sheep man. No, just stay in your car and drive away.
You're right. Especially if it looked like that. I ain't getting out the car at all.
No.
But you know what it reminds me of? Sheep Squatch? Or what was it?
Yeah, the sheep squash.
Sheep Squatch. That's what it reminds me of. Now this happened in Pennsylvania, the Waterford Sheepman. Sheep Squatch, I think, happened.
West Virginia.
Was it West Virginia? Okay. I mean, that's right there. That's next door.
The weird thing about the last whole sheep man thing is there's another legend, the goat man. They have goat man's bridge. I can't remember where it's at exactly, but like all these goat people seem to like go around like bridges.
Oh yeah. Well, do you think that kind of stems from the story of what's that story? Goatman's Bridge is in Texas, by the way. Oh, what's the story of the goat that hangs under the bridge? Or maybe it's the troll. I don't know. Maybe I'm mixing the troll
The
with the
Billy
goat
Goat,
now.
the Billy
Was it?
Goat story.
Yeah, Billy Goat Gruff or something like that. Is that
Yeah.
right?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Yeah. Maybe that's where it comes from.
That's interesting to think about.
It is. All right. Do you want to bring in? Well, I guess. Do you want me to bring it in?
Yeah, you can bring her.
All right. So, are you familiar with Hanover, PA?
No, I'm not.
So, other than being the snack food capital of the world, did you know Hanover? In Hanover, there is a house that is so haunted, it ended up on Fox 43 News.
No, that's crazy.
Let me bring it in here. Oh man, there's so many buttons, and it's like, which one do I push? Oh crap! Okay, I found it. Never mind.
Went into the house not knowing what to expect, and definitely not prepared for some of the things we were about to hear and experience.
Nestled at the corner of Maple and Monroe Streets in a quiet Hanover neighborhood, a house that hasn't felt much like home for its owners since shortly after moving in. It's known as Hanover's most haunted house, featured on the Travel Channel's show The Dead Files.
So now what would happen up here that you're not sleeping up there?
I was coming up the steps, and then I felt two hands just like that.
The owners, Deanna and Tom Simpson.
As soon as we pulled up, I was just instantly drawn to it.
Deanna fell in love with the house's quirks and charm. It reminded her of a childhood home in Kentucky, but that love story soon turned into a nightmare. One the Simpsons say they can't seem to escape.
The problem is that nobody wants it for a home because it's not safe. I've been thrown down the steps. I had a fractured tailbone. We've been bit. We've been scratched.
In fact, the last time Fox 43 visited the Simpsons' house, our photographer believed he was scratched by something.
Just a couple minutes into the interview, our photojournalist, Nick, felt his wrist burning.
Are you okay? Did you get scratched?
He was behind the camera, but Simpson knew what had happened right away.
Deanna and Tom lead us on a tour of the 3-story home. We learn Tom is slightly skeptical, but unable to deny something's happening here.
The thing was, I used to kid her about, well, you're ghosted, this, that. And one day I was at the kitchen table saying that to her. And I got a burning sensation. I actually had a scratch. So I said, there might be something to this.
I started crying and I said, how do you explain that? How do you explain that? What happened there? You know, there's no cats around. We're just sitting here.
Deanna, the main victim in this haunting, recalls horrifying stories throughout the couple's 10 years here. This elk head remounted several times after Deanna and Tom found it on the floor, the same room where Deanna and Tom have felt sick.
This is where we thought we were having a heart attack. We would end up going to the local hospital. We would drive there, and as soon as we left the house, we felt better.
And in another room, Deanna says she's watched by a woman outside the window, and something crawls into bed with her at night.
A couple times I was actually pinned down in the bed. I couldn't move.
We experienced some phenomena ourselves, like when Fox 43 photographer Drew Zala hears a noise he just can't explain while getting shots of the house. And in the basement.
And down here is the family room that we never, ever use.
Where I begin to feel something strange.
Ow.
Did you get
feel
that?
When you come down? Did you feel that? Okay.
I did not. What did you guys feel?
You just feel all of this pressure in your head, like all of a sudden just pounding.
Right
in here.
Right here. I did not feel that upstairs.
No, because downstairs we have like 3 levels of haunting. You have your basement, and you have your first floor, and then you have the upstairs. And it's like they all stay in these areas.
Deanna says she captured a spirit on camera. She calls him the Shadow Man. In other parts of the house, voices. Something even saying my name. And to make matters spookier, I suddenly became very cold, shivering uncontrollably.
You're shaking pretty good, look at her. Your leg's going a mile a minute.
The Simpsons have tried a number of cleanses with no luck.
We've had a priest, a preacher, a shaman, a Reiki healer, a witch. And then Tom and I just said, look, nobody's able to do this. We're just going to do it ourselves. And we just can't do it. It's just bigger than us.
For now, they'll continue to decorate the house, making it their own. And Deanna says they have their faith. It's just a question of how much longer will they be able to stay.
What do you think, man?
It sounds like a Conjuring movie to me. Looks insane.
This sounds like a Conjuring movie. That's funny. Yeah. So that's wild that it ended up on the news.
Uh-huh.
I wonder. I kind of want to reach out to them if they're watching this by any chance. That'd be wild. You know, we'd love to have you on the podcast talk about your house.
Yeah, that's one of the scariest things. Like whenever we bought the house, it's like, well, if the activity starts picking up like more and more and more and more and more. But luckily, it hasn't. Like we have some weird stuff, but like something that you can't control.
Yeah. But that's it, man. That's all I had.
Those are some interesting stories. There's a lot in Pennsylvania with the Appalachian Mountains and just haunted locations.
Yeah, I liked doing this episode because one, you know, we was able to have people come on from TikTok that, you know, we had some engagement, and we have something special too for this next episode, because Luke and I was talking about this next episode. We have a really interesting story coming out of Arkansas, and I'm excited to share it with you. I'm not going to give away too much information unless Luke wants to give away a little bit more.
No.
Luke, your hand is so tiny. Oh my gosh. All right. Well, I guess that's where we'll leave things tonight. If you've experienced something like that, like any of these stories, give us a call or shoot us a text to the hotline at 412-533-3483. If you leave a voicemail and need more time to get all the spooky details, go ahead and give us a call back. Pick up where you left off, and we'll make sure that we'll edit it together for it to sound right on the podcast. Also, if you want to see the any of these visuals that we had up on the screen, they go along with these stories, make sure that you subscribe to our YouTube. Luke, do you have anything else?
No, thanks for spending the night with us, and we'll see you next time.
See you guys later.